Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing about language, some basic concepts, theories in pedagogy and use in English. As you know, we will be starting a full-fledged course for June 2025 examination. So this is the number reflected on the screen. If you want to connect with us, please contact us on the following number. These are some of the ideas which have been asked in the questions, and I will be discussing about how English is put in use. First, morpheme. It's the smallest meaningful unit in a language, and phoneme. It is the smallest unit of a sound in a language. So, both of these questions have been asked at the exam. It can come as a match the following question, or they will give you some options and they will ask you to identify which word is determining which meaning. Then a lexeme, it's the basic unit of a language consisting of one or several words, the elements of which separately do not convey the meaning of the whole. So if we disrupt the words, we won't get the original meaning. So it's the basic unit of the language. Then coming to the characteristics of language according to Saussure, he talked about language being uh, in an arbitrary form. He was emphasizing that a word or a sign is made up of signifier and the signified, and the relationship between them is always arbitrary. There is nothing absolute. And now coming to the functions of language, we have transmission of culture, means of communication, diffusion of knowledge, means of socialization, means of cultural identity, and therapeutic use of language. These are the ways in which language becomes useful to us, and that is how our idea, our culture are transmitted and also helps us in socialization and creating a cultural identity. Now, Noam Chomsky was an important figure. He was discussing that language is a set of sentences, each finite in length and constructed out of a finite set of elements. He is also known as the father of modern linguistics, and he gave the idea of universal grammar, in which he proposed that we are born with an innate knowledge of grammar. Then we have certain basic skills of language. Uh, there are four types: listening skills, reading skills, writing skills, and speaking skills. In listening skills, there are various kinds of ways in which we try to listen through a conversational discussion or exploratory discussion. In certain ways, we try to empathize, we recreate certain things in our discussions. Then there's a critical listening and synthesizing listening and analyzing listening. These are certain ways in which we try to listen. And there are certain ideas through which we can formulate our reading skills. Those were given by various critics, such as the first one, SQ-RRR method by Robinson. In this kind of approach, we first survey, then we question, then we read, we recite, and then we review. Then coming to REAP method by Ennett and Manzo, we have read, encode, annotate, and then ponder. Then coming to SCQP method by Oitund, we have summarizing, then we clarify, then we start questioning about it, and then we predict. Then the evoker method by POC, it's exploring, then the use of vocabulary. Then coming to oral reading, then we discuss the key ideas, and then we evaluate it, and then we recapitulate. Coming to writing skills, we have certain oral language background and experience, and we focus on the content of the print, understand the graphic symbols that is needed to communicate. We understand the concept of letters, sentences, and the concept of left to right, and also how we paragraph our ideas. And then coming to speaking skills. There are certain theories given to like for language acquisition, how we acquire language. first behaviorism, it was given by B.F. Skinner. In that, he proposed that a child learns language through the environment. Then, the universal grammar method given by Noam Chomsky, he believed that language is an innate biological category. Then, coming to tabula rasa or blank slate, this was given by Locke, in which he believed that all knowledge comes from outside through our sensory experience. Then, coming to monitor model given by Stephen Krashen, he mentioned that language acquisition is subconscious, but language learning is conscious. Then, coming to acculturation method, given by Schumann, he believed that he believed in the process of how immigrants pick up a new language and they acculture it. So that is what was the overall idea about each of the critics. What have they discussed about how we acquire language? Then the idea of acquiring first language theory. Like everyone has a first language, and then we try to acquire another language. So there are ideas like L1, L2, meaning the mother tongue language or the target language and things like that. So the first one that they gave was Bow Wow theory. Just these are certain ideas like onomatopoeia, in which the sounds were important to learn the language. Then Yo-Hi-Ho theory, in which the human language is developed from instinctive noises. Then ding dong theory, it is acquired by the correspondence between objects of sense perception and vocal noises. Then Lala theory, it is to express the music or poetry form. Then Tata theory, it's the tongue movement to mimic manual gestures. Then Poo Poo theory, it is the emotional exclamation of pain, pleasure, and surprise. Then there are certain methods of acquisition of second language. So first one, grammar translation method, in which we use L1 language, that is the mother tongue, to teach the L2 language. Say, for example, English as a target language. Then coming to direct method, in which we use L2, means the target language itself, to be used as a language of teaching. So L2 becomes the instruction method or medium. Then we have communicative language teaching, CLT. In this, we try to communicate in L2 language itself. For example, if someone wants to learn English, they start communicating in English itself. Then there are certain natural approaches to language learning and acquisition. First, task-based language learning, TBLL. This was given by N.S. Prabhu. In this, they mentioned that if you give students tasks based on a language, then they will be willing to acquire the language, and that is how they will learn. And the second method was audiolingual method, in which we immerse the students in the language that they want to learn. They listen to it, and that is how they start learning more of it. Then coming to structural approach, in this we focus on the structure such as grammar, the sentences and things like that. Then situational approach, we try to ask the students to speak in that language, and then we immerse the children in the language that we want to teach them. Then coming to Dr. West's new method, in this the emphasis was on the idea of silent reading, through which people used to comprehend what is written and they try to analyze and understand. And then bilingual method, in this two languages are used, one as a L1 language, another as a L2 language, or the mother language and the target language. Then total physical response, in this students or people try to learn or acquire the language through their experiences, like whatever they listen around, see, or speak, whatever. Then coming to whole language, in this there is a comprehensive development with multiple methods like reading and writing method. Like a combination of both these methods help to develop the language in a whole. Then there are other methods and approaches as well, like deductive method. In this, we come from the general to particular. In this, first the teacher explains about the rules and then comes to examples and explains. And then the next method is inductive method, which is particular to general, which means first they give examples and then they come to the rules and explain them. Then multilingual pedagogical approach, in which a set of principles are used to different degrees in various approaches. Then constructive approach is a very learner-centric approach. Then thematic learning, like teachers give some themes, and that is how students try to prepare, learn, or communicate, and that is how they acquire the language. Then there are certain terms on which you have been asked a lot of questions, such as lang and parole. Both of these terms are very important, given by Saussure. And lang is the structure or the grammatical rules of a language, and parole is the utterance in that language of which the rules are known. So first is the structure, second is the utterance. Then competence and performance. Competence means prior knowledge about grammar, like a person is able to distinguish between what is grammatically correct and what is not. And performance is the ability to produce, or how is a person speaking. That is the idea of performance, and both these terms have been given by Noam Chomsky. Pidgin, you have been asked a lot of questions on Pidgin and Creole. Please understand these two terms. Pidgin is communication developed between two or more groups that do not have a common language. And Creole is the language which in which the pidgin itself becomes a first language. For example, in the first case, there's no common language between two groups, so they develop a new form of language, and with the advance of time, the same language becomes the first language. So it's the pidgin which gets transformed into first language. So please remember the difference between both of these terms. Then idiolect, it's the speech habits of a particular person and the individualized style of speaking. Idioglossia, which means the language of a small group. Sociolect, it's the language that has a structural or a meaning, significant meaning in society. Historiolect, it's the historical references of a language. So these are just small phrases through which I've tried to explain you all these terms, just for you to remember and to understand easily. Coming to use English in use, you have ELT, whose full form is English Language Teaching. Sometimes these full forms have been asked, like the abbreviations and the full forms of it. So please remember this. Pedagogy of English can be viewed in three ways: structural, functional, and interactive. In structural, the focus is more on the grammar, the structure, and in functional, how people are using these rules to make the meaning out of it and produce the sentences and communicate. Interactive is how they use the language more for communication purpose and to be more interactive amongst each other. So these are the three views in which the pedagogy of English has been developed. Then we have TOEFL. The full form of it is Test of English as a Foreign Language. This is an exam which people usually try to crack to get into various jobs. This kind of helps to connect the countries whose native language is not English and to the place where people are going for jobs and other purposes whose native language is English. So this is a kind of an exam. Also IELTS full form is the International English Language Testing System, and this has been developed jointly by British Council and other associated establishments. And ESP, the full form is English for Specific Purposes. Now, this is a subset of English as a second and foreign language, and it's usually refers to teaching the English language to university students or people already in employment. Then coming to ELL, which is English Language Learner. This term is used to address people in certain countries who are acquiring this knowledge of English. Then there are certain kinds of English. First, the basic English. This was given by Charles Ogden, and he termed it as an international auxiliary language and as an aid for teaching English as a second language. Then we have special English. This is a kind of English or certain words used in the US for news. Then we have Globish English, which is global plus English. And this term was given by John Paul Nyerere. And it's a subset of English grammar, and it has certain 1500 English words in it. Then nuclear English, it's the English language learners working in nuclear industries. It has certain 10,000 words. And then Sea Speak, it's the language used by sailors, mariners on the ships. So these are certain different types of English used for various purposes. So thank you so much, and I hope your exam goes well. Please revise these concepts. This is just a crux of everything. You can elaborate on these ideas, but just to give you an overview and to let you know what kind of questions have been asked from this section, I've prepared this video, so kindly revise it accordingly. Thank you so much.